I don't know if there is a magic formula to practicing and learning songs, but I'm about to give you guys the biggest hack that I know to getting a song mastered as fast as possible, to bringing out all the juice of the song, making it sound as fat as possible, and getting the best response you can from your audience or from your family and friends or anyone you're trying to impress, or even impress yourself. So my name's Luan. I'm a professional musician. I graduated from Berklee College of Music with a scholarship, and we are building a free online music school with practical music education tips to help you guys crush it. Now, this video is a lesson within our extra practice section, and it is part of our weekly challenge. So this week's challenge is our students are going to be jumping in and learning a new song. So I'm going to be giving you all the frameworks of how I learn new songs. I'm going to be learning a new song. My new song is going to be You Need Me, I Don't Need You by Ed Sheeran. And I really, really want to crush this song this week. But we're going to go through the frameworks on how you can get a song done as fast as possible and getting all the juice out of it and making it sound as good as possible. Now, the very first thing is you need to pick the song. Now, if you're trying to improve in music, I would highly recommend you're not learning songs that are super, super easy for you. Part of the fear of learning harder songs is kind of like, wow, there's some unknown when it comes to the song, and it's going to hold you back. And we all procrastinate. We're like, oh, I should do this, and I really, really want to do this. And sometimes we like hold back our for me, there's some songs that like for 10 years I held back on learning, and I was like, oh, I can't do it. And then I finally did it, and I was like, oh my God, why didn't I just do this sooner? I like some key songs for some people are songs like Neon by John Mayer and things like that. They hold back because it's such a challenging wall at the start. Anyway, I want to get through how we can tackle this in a really, really easy way to get moving forward. So first things first, pick a song. Ideally, you want to challenge yourself because we all want to grow as musicians. We all want to get better. This works for songs that are super, super easy for you, but typically if the song's quite easy for you, you're going to just pick up these things naturally and you probably won't have to go through these frameworks. This is more for like challenging stuff. This is like stuff that like, oh, you got to grit your teeth and get through. Now, first step is do not go down the path of like, ooh, I'm being challenged right now, technically, and I need to go and build up this technique to then go and do this. This is a huge pit. This is the pit of despair for anyone who's trying to learn a song. And we all do it. I did this all the time. I would be like, I really want to play this song. Oh, but my like certain technique is not really there. All right, I'm going to do some exercises, build that technique, and then I'll come back to it. It is procrastination at its finest. First things first. If a song is challenging, that means there's something that needs to be improved in your playing, and now use that song to improve it. Now, the first step that you're going to do is you're going to listen to the song, and you are going to try your best, your absolute best, to extract everything that you can out of it by ear. And I know this might be a bit scary. We have an ear training guide on our online music school as well, so you can look at that. It's in the theory section. Very good theory section on practical music theory there. But with jumping in straight away and doing this learning the song as best as you can by ear, is you're going to start really building up your ear. For one, that's going to be the best thing. And two, you're just going to actually listen to what the song is. Too many times I see students, they see guitar tabs. They're like, all right, I'm going to jump to the tabs. Or they watch a video of someone playing a video tutorial of a song. They're going to go in there and they're going to go to those get that information first, and then that forms the basis of how they're going to learn the song. Now, it's all fine and well, and there's some really great YouTube videos of people like absolutely crushing it. But the best version of the song that you're wanting to play is the original version that you're wanting to play. If you're like, oh, I want to play like John Mayer, don't go look at other people playing John Mayer. Go look at John Mayer. Listen to him play. I use him as an example because we've got a lot of people in our community that like John Mayer. I love John Mayer. And when you do it that way, you are now going to start extracting the nuances. You're going to start listening for the nuances of how he approaches playing certain notes, playing certain phrases, articulating things. If you're trying to sing and play, you're going to figure out how, like, you don't have to know exactly like the things that he's doing, but you're going to start listening for the nuances and the way he phrases things and stuff like that. So whatever you can do with your ear, do it first. Do not jump in on the other stuff. Challenge your ear first. This is super important. You can set a time limit on it. You don't have to go crazy hard. I'm not telling you, like, you could go listen to it and be like, oh my God, this is impossible. Spend an hour on it, maybe, you know, half an hour to an hour, listening to the song, seeing what you can come out with on your instrument, or seeing what you can like recall with your voice. Do that first, because it's huge. Trust me. Now, once you do that, the next step is going to reference material. So that could be YouTube videos on how to play, or that can be notes on like tabs or anything like that. So you can go and do that. That really helps. This is how I do my process. This is exactly how I do it. I go straight to the source material. What can I extract on my own? I do that first. Then I go to like supporting material, like tabs, blah, blah, blah. And that's where I'm like, all right, sweet. I didn't know that. Oh, that's what that note was. Okay, cool. So you start to fill in the gaps of what you could figure out, and then that's going to help build your knowledge. And then sometimes when you're fixing mistakes that you're like, oh man, I was so close, it kind of like sticks in your brain a lot more. And then the next time you do it, it gets a bit easier. Now, once you do that, you're now equipped with the right notes, and you're kind of picking out the right groove and things like that. The next step is go back to the song. Now, when you go back to the song, you are going to take it so slow. And when I say take it so slow, I want you to listen to that song, and you want to ideally find a program. On YouTube, you can just slow down. You can slow down the videos. On YouTube, there's a plugin you can download. It's called Enhancer for YouTube. Give it a check out. I don't know if it's just YouTube Premium that can slow down songs, but there's heaps of apps. Just Google them. There's a million of them. You want to basically get the recording, and then you want to slow down the recording, and then you want to go through each section that you struggle with the recording slow, very slow. And then you're going to build up till you can hit it at tempo. So this third part is really, really important. Sometimes people are like, hey, you need to learn one bar at a time or a couple of notes at a time. The best way to do it is to work by phrase. And by phrase, I mean, it's like, what is the musical like sequence that's coupled together that you can handle? It might be like a burst of 5 notes, or it could be like, you know, a line, or it could be, you know, 4 or 5 bars of a song. You're like, yeah, that whole phrase, I've got that down. You might have heard the song a million times. So you already know what that phrase sounds like, because you've just been hearing the song over and over again, and you just like been procrastinating learning this song because it's quite hard. So do whatever you can handle, and that becomes your measuring stick. Don't use like outside validation of what other people tell you. Hey, you got to do it bar by bar. No, do whatever the phrase that you can handle is what you do it under. Because one, we don't want to waste time on areas that you can handle quite easily. And two, if you learn to build your knowledge through the phrase that you can handle, you're going to get more musical context of how each part stacks on top of each other. And so all we're going to do is go through each phrase that you're working on. It could be like boom ba ba da ba do do, boom ba ba da da do, boom ba ba da da do, and you're just going to keep working on that on your playing and just like grooving on it. Or it could be boom ba ba da do do ba do da ba do. Like it will grow. And so you just take your time bit by bit, and then you will eventually get more and more out of it. So that's it. For me, learning, it's that simple. It just follows that 3 steps. Use my ear, then use reference material, and then I just work through each phrase that I can handle. Now, when I'm working through each phrase and I'm listening to the music and I'm using my reference point as the music, not a metronome, not some like backing track or some fancy thing, the recording is my metronome. So I'm always using the correct thing. Now, if I'm using that as my reference point, I am constantly feeding myself the right phrasing of what they're doing. Now, there's nuances to all of these songs. If you think that you might get a song down, unless you're like some God level professional, like John Mayer or something like that, there is something you can learn from every song. And I'm pretty sure even at that, like I can't speak because I am not 0.00001% of musicians, but even at that level, they find something to get out. And so the skill in mastery is like the difference between like, a beginner and an expert is the expert has, more things to measure themselves on. So as a beginner, you just think like, oh my God, just getting the chords down is so challenging. But as you get more experience, you're like, okay, like how much pressure do I put on the chords? Is there extra things that I can bring out of the chords? Is there a better way to do the groove? Am I articulating things right? Is there more dynamics that I need here? You find more things to bring out of the song. And this is where it comes into the mastery element. Now, those 3 steps is all you need to learn a song. Now, when we're going into mastering of the song, you basically just need to step into the feedback loop system that we do, which is you record yourself playing, and then you compare that recording of yourself playing to the recording that you're trying to emulate. And then you need to like start listening objectively and being like, okay, well, my timing is pretty bad here. And when you do compare yourself, and it's going to be really revealing and terrifying, especially at the beginning when you start doing this, you can use our free school to post your content, and like people will help you if you ask for help. But it is the most rewarding learning tool that I have ever seen in my entire life. I wish I did it sooner. It was terrifying when I first started doing it, and now I just do it like that's how I get better. I actually just live stream everything I do, and whenever, even live stream learning songs, and then I go back to the recordings of the live streams and I'll see like, oh, you did that wrong. Let's fix that. And then my next show, like my next live stream, I do it better. So that is your approach. You're going to record yourself. Just get your phone, super simple, record yourself trying to do it, and then compare it to the recording that you're trying to copy or the song you're trying to learn. And then that way you're always checking. If they're not sounding similar, there's something that can be extracted and be like, oh, damn, I'm going a bit too early here because they sound like they're going at this point and I'm just like jumping too fast, or I'm missing this note, or this vibe is not connecting. I'm missing the groove. Like you can find things a lot easier rather than you in real time just playing and thinking like, yeah, it kind of sounds all right. Trust me, no one's ear is that good. Even like at the highest level, like you have to be really, really good for you to in real time monitor yourself. I'm a professional. I spend hours practicing and performing and doing all that stuff. I can't do it. I'm just telling you right now, there's so many things that are going on in a song, and your ear is not good enough to pick out all the things that you can improve on. If your focus is just on analyzing what can I do better, and you're watching a recording of yourself giving your best shot, you will find so many things that you can improve on. But if you're literally you're performing and you're trying your best, and then on top of that, you're thinking like, how can I make this better? Well, you're already losing the game because 1, you're not going to be able to perform better. And 2, you're thinking about other things other than the lyrics, other than the melody. So you're not even giving yourself a chance to be fully invested in what you're trying to do. So that is the improvement side of mastering. So we got our how to learn, which is you're just going to go through the steps, try to figure out by ear, then use reference material, and then go back to the recording and use that as your metronome or your practice tool to get better and better and better and better. And then eventually you will crush it. And then secondly, once you go to mastery, record yourself playing it, and then listen to the recording and then compare the differences. And then just aim for just one thing at a time. You don't need to do like every single thing. The biggest problem I see with my students is everyone's always like, I need to get this. I need to get all of it right. And then you just got this laundry list and you just can't really move forward. I would just go for order of priority, especially because a lot of people are moving into like singing and playing. But find the most important parts of the song that like will give you the biggest returns, and then focus on that first and then slowly go. And if you don't know, if you can't really figure out what is the most important thing, just pick one thing and just do that. If you go through the list and be like, I need to do everything, it gets really, really hard to be motivated because you're just like, oh, I did this. And then your brain's like, not enough, not enough, not enough. You need to do more. And that is a really, really hard space to break. Some people can like brute force it. I'm not that kind of person. I had to find ways to trick my brain to being like, we're moving forward. We're getting better. We're getting better. We're getting better. Like even the song that I'm going to pick for my challenge this week, which is You Need Me, I Don't Need You. It's been months I've been trying to do this. I remember we kind of learned the loop, and I obviously have heard the song many times, but I was like, I need to like, I'm just terrified of learning all the rap and all the, like, getting everything working together and with the loop pedal. And I'm like, oh man, this is going to be so much work. There's so many things. But I have to take my like own medicine and just be like, hey, I'm just going to do one little, like for me, I'm like, you know what, we're just going to work on like singing and playing it and just working it. And then we're going to practice the rapping, and then I'm just going to get better and better and better. And then we're going to work through the loop, and then we're going to get better and better. And like, I'm just going to chip away at one thing at a time. And then I'll eventually get the song, and we'll see within a week if your boy has crushed it. But for all of y'all that are working hard in our school community, thank you so much for being a part of our online music school. It is free, so please share it with all your friends. We're all here to get better. We're all here to make friends, and you know, share our music with everyone. And ideally, I just don't want you guys to make my mistakes. So that's why the school exists, and also to save me explaining things during stream. Anyway, I will catch you guys in the school, and let's have a good time.